Hello Stampers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my second card that I made with the Trusty Tools bundle this time. The last card that I made was really quick and easy, and I just did a background and a word, and then in my video I showed you a step up where I actually embossed the background and made it just a little bit nicer. So this next card is the next step up, where I'm actually going to use all of the dies. Well, not all of the dies, but I'm going to use the dies that come with the bundle. So this is a stamp set, and this is what it looks like if you do two-step stamping, which we're going to do on this one. And you can actually cut out the tools, or it gets really nice where you can actually use the dies to cut out your own tools. And there's a lot of dies that come with the stamp set, and there's just so many possibilities. Super cute. I had a lot of fun playing with this, and the best news is if you get this bundle, you will qualify for free Celebration Designer Series paper. Now you have to order before February 29th to get this bundle and get the paper. And my later videos, I'm going to show you some cards with this paper, but I wanted to start with the easiest and work my way up to the hardest, or maybe more involved cards. Are not really any of them that difficult, just a little more involved, and you need to use some tools and equipment. All right, so let me get started. I thought rather than make the same exact color combination, which in this case was Misty Moonlight and Pebbled Path, which I thought was really pretty, I decided I wanted to challenge myself and try some new colors. So I have this color guide that I made. I downloaded it from Stampin' Up's website and made these color cards for every color, and found that I really liked the combination Early Espresso and Wild Wheat. And by the way, if you're interested, you can leave your name in the comments. I'm selling these for $15 a piece. So here is the combination that I decided I liked. I also fiddled with Cherry Cobbler and Pecan Pie. I didn't like that as much, but I really liked these colors. And I wanted to kind of think outside of the box on this card, so that's what I did. So let's go ahead and get started stamping. Grab a piece of paper this time. All right, sorry for the little delay there. Last time I used my laminated piece of cardstock, but it's like making a mess. So I want to go ahead and just use this for my background. I went ahead and cut out my cardstock. The base is a piece of white, basic white, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25, just like a typical base, but we're going to rotate it so that it's landscape instead of portrait, landscape. And then I did a really narrow background with the Early Espresso, and somewhere I wrote down the measurements. Of course, now I can't find them. Oh, there we go. It's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 for the Early Espresso, and then the basic white is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So what that does is it gives you just a little narrow edge and then a wider edge. And I just think it's kind of fun when you do a triple layer card like this to have a little bit of contrast and different sizes. So that's what I did. And I'm going to take this piece of white and stamp the tools out with Early Espresso this time, because that's going to match my background paper. And like the last card, we're going to start with the biggest one image, which is the hammer. And I'm going to shove this all over so we can see what I'm doing. Make a little room. There we go. And I'm going to tap it in the Early Espresso. And I'll do it 3 times, which it almost looks black. But you'll see when we actually put it all together that it's not black. All right, so I rotated it 3 times, and the next size is going to be the wrench. So it's really quite similar to the last card, but we're going to bring in some 2-step stamping. And like I said in my last video, I like to work in 3s, so I'm doing 3 of each image. And then I'm going to do 3 of the tape measure. 1, 2, and wow, I don't know where I'm going to stick this one. I guess I'll stick it right there, going up like that. 3, and while I have the tape measure out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp, let's see, on, yeah, the wheat. I had to think about it a minute. I'm going to stamp on the wheat because I'm going to cut that out. All right, so there's that. And then last, I didn't do it on this card, but I'll go ahead and do it on this one. I'm going to take the screws and just fill in some of my white spaces because I think I ended up with some white spaces I didn't really want. And yeah, I'm just looking for white spaces, filling it in, and I like to run it off the edge of the card like that. Maybe rotate it and do it there so everything's not going the same way. And maybe I'll do something there, down here in this corner. So it's kind of busy, but it's supposed to be busy. That's the style of card. Okay, so good. We are now done. Let's see. Yeah, we're done with this color. Early espresso. And now I'm going to use the wild wheat, which is an in color for 23 to 25. And I'm going to do my 2-step stamping. So this is for the tape measure. Now I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to 2-step it, but I will do these. And this kind of looks like a D if you hold it this way. But if you see, the flat side goes to the bottom. And if you just kind of hover and hold it above, then you can firmly press down and you get a really nice image. And that's what the clear photopolymer stamp sets will allow you to do that. So there we go. There's the tape measure. And now I want to, wow, find the stamp set. Where are they? Oh, here we go. Goodness sakes. Right, this one is the bigger one. This one is the one for the wrench. I actually did this video and goofed up at the very end. So I'm redoing it because it was so far into it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. All right, so there's the hammer. 1, 2, and the third hammer. Oop, that's the wrench. Well, there you go. But that's all right because it was going off the edge. You can't really tell what I did. Wrench. Coming in for a second pass because I didn't do a good job. Wrench. And then the hammer background is actually shorter. And I'm not finding it on my table. Where's that thing? Oh my word. I actually had it all set up and my son came and worked on my stamp table. I'm like, I was all ready to do a video, son. And he's like, oh, sorry. So everything got shoved aside and now I can't find it. So we're going to have to improvise. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Dang. Make sure it's not in the box. It's not in the box. Probably got knocked on the floor or something. But I'm not doing this video over. So what I'm going to do is clean this off, and I'm going to dry it off with a paper towel so it's not wet. And gosh, I can't believe I can't find it. Instead of inking this whole thing, because the hammer is just slightly shorter, you can see, I am going to just do like this much of it. That didn't ink up very well. Let me do it again. All right. It's going to look a little weird, but I don't want to restart this video again. Holy cow. There we go. This is called improvising, ladies, men, gentlemen. Since that one goes off, you can't even tell, except for I'm rocking it weird. All right, so I want to just re-ink that little area there. There we go. And that doesn't look too bad. I don't like how I did that one, so I just want to come back in and ink it again, and it looks great. All right, happy now. Now I'm happy. All right, there's that. I'm sure the minute the video's over, I'm going to find it and go, oh, there it was. Hello. All right, I want to use, I'm going to use Happy Father's Day. And what I did was I used this die, which is in the dies, and cut out, actually I cut out 3 white, and I did one in wheat and one in brown, and I'm going to show you what I did, how I did that in a minute, but I didn't want to have to cut 3 out on the video. So what I want to do, the white one, I'm going to actually cut it in half because it's too big. So I'm going to cut it in half the long way. So I'm just going to line it up between the 2 dots and cut it out just like that. So this gives you 2 chances. If you mess up one, you've got a second chance, which is always a good thing, especially when making a video. It's so easy to mess up. You know, it's just easy to mess up anyway. So there you have it. I'm going to do Happy Father's Day in wheat. See, I haven't actually made this card, so I really have to think about it. And I'm going to center it there. We go. Okay, now I can close my stamp pads. Now I'm going to do a little bit of magic. Kind of fun. And I want to bring in, I'm going to set these aside for now. And I want to bring in my die cutting and embossing machine. So here we go. First of all, I want to cut out this. So if you notice in this card, it's actually shorter than this. So what I did to do that was I cut it out once like this, and then I took the die and set it. I actually cut this out already, but I haven't cut it yet, so I'm just going to show you how I did this. You know what? I'll cut it out so you see what I'm talking about. Okay, I stamped out the tape measure, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And I also had a brown scrap. There it is. Boy, I am falling apart. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to take my outline there and cut that out. And at the same time, I'm going to use this little tape guide and ruler and guide. So there, I'm going to cut it all out at once. And make sure it doesn't wiggle. If you press down, it won't move. And now I can't even get to the handle because I have all cocky wampus here. Usually don't go this way. There we go. All right, now I can show you what I'm talking about. So I don't really want to move this because I want to go ahead and cut out the next thing. And one thing I've learned for sure is when you use these dies, don't just throw them down on your desk. Put them on your magnetic sheet. That's what I do. I buy these magnetic sheets off of Amazon, and that way you'll have less chance of losing them. Like I actually threw one in the trash the other day, and I luckily noticed it and then went and found it in the trash. So I was really thankful that I did that because, yeah, it's pretty sad. All right, so we're going to glue these down in a minute. I'm just going to move them for now. So what I did was I then took this brown square that I did early espresso, and I kind of set this on here and said, okay, that needs to be about this big. So you just want to make sure you line up the edges good. And we're going to cut it out again. And I'm going to move this so it doesn't get marks on it when you run it through the machine a second time. If your plate's scratched at all, then it could scratch your paper. You don't really want to do that. So once again, I'm at a totally weird angle. I am going to turn this around and go the other way. All right, this is so awkward. I should have gone the other way. All right, so is that all we have to cut out? It is. All right, I'm going to, oh, no. I need to do one more thing. So there, see, that's how I cut it down. And the last thing I did was I took the words that I stamped, which of course I don't see now. I'll have to find them. I need more space. You ever feel like that? There's that. Where did it go? Could be anywhere. Oh my word. Oh, there it is. Okay, yay. I was just about ready to give up and do it again. And I took my exposed brick embossing folder, which who knows where that disappeared to. Holy cow. I'm having a day. Getting ready to use a different embossing folder. It's here somewhere. I literally just pulled it out. It's one of my favorite ones to use, and now I'm having a hard, there it is. I covered it up. What a bonehead. All right, so we got the one plate, which is the bottom plate, and we're going to, this has a definite direction because it has brick, so you want to make sure you put this in right, the right direction, and I kind of put it over here so it'll be half brick and half of this kind of roughed up stuff. And you want to run it through with the fold towards the mechanism, and you want to make sure Stampin' Up is up, and that way you're embossed instead of debossed on your image, which is important on this one, to me anyway. And run it through. Okay, you know what? That is stupid. Okay, that made absolutely no, it didn't make contact, and that's because I forgot to put the right embossing plate in there. What I need was my specialty plate. So it didn't make contact, so I knew right away I was doing something wrong. And so now I have some resistance. Not a lot, actually, but there is some resistance, and there was no resistance before. So I knew I was doing something wrong. Sometimes it's hard to stamp and talk and like remember every little thing. There, it worked. That's all that really matters. I'll set this out of the way, and now I am ready to assemble this card. So here's my white again. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, remove the little guard, and just knead it on 4 corners. And so I just sort of hover it on my card, tell us where I want it. And now I'm going to take this one, 4 corners, and I might put one in the middle so that it doesn't get an air gap. And so you can see that my frame around the white is, the brown is a little bit bigger, and then the outside white is smaller. That was intentional. I kind of like that look. All right, so then this will go down here. So I cut 3 of these shapes in 3 different colors in the wild wheat, early espresso, and white. So this one will go right here. And hey, we're getting a jump on Father's Day. See how this, because I cut it in half, it lines up perfectly on there. The holes, so cute. And I want to go ahead and I'm going to put quite a bit of seal on this because when you have an embossed image, I think the seal doesn't hold quite as well, so you just need to use more or use glue when you're embossing, but that'll work well. All right, then remember this was one that was early espresso, but I cut it down. I'll go ahead and put that on. And I put that at an angle because I thought it was cute. And I hope I can find all my little pieces. There's that. And, found it all. Good. All right, I'll go ahead and put this on. The tape measure on first. I'll put a little bit there out there on the tape measure part. Just want to angle it just right. Make sure I'm good on the right and left side, and that looks good to me. Then this one had like a little center, which honestly is a little hard to put. I'm going to revert to glue. Well, I got some on there. I would probably glue it or use a glue dot. But for sure I'm going to need glue for those. There's no way I'm going to get seal on those tiny little pieces. So, a little bit of glue. And this has like holes in it, little lines in it, like embossed, cuts all the way through. So you don't use a ton of glue because otherwise it's going to ooze. I don't know if you can, probably can't even see that. But it has little lines on there like a tape measure. Super cute. Also, the good thing about the glue is I can kind of wiggle it. See how the glue is kind of oozing out those little lines? I'm just going to tap it and get the glue off, which of course puts it on my fingers, but you wouldn't be a stamper without a little bit of ink and glue on your fingertips. If you don't like getting your hands dirty, this is probably not the hobby for you. But it comes off in the wash. And you can use like a sugar scrub soap actually to get the glue off if you want to. I've done that before. And now we are done. A little bit more involved card, but how cute is that? So my original card that I made, which was really fast, like this. In the video, I did this one where I stepped it up and embossed it. This one, I've got two-step stamping going on. I've got the bundle. I'm using the dies, and I really, really liked how it looks. I really liked the color combination where I was kind of stretching myself. I've never actually put these two colors together before, but they look good. They look really good. So please like my video. Leave me an encouraging comment. If you're interested in this color guide, let me know. For $15, I'd be happy to sell you one. I have several left over, and it's all the new colors when they Stampin' Up! Did the color revamp about a year ago. So thank you for joining me, and be sure and check out my next video where I step it up yet again. Have a good day.